The Yellow Turban Rebellion, the first stage you play when booting up a Dynasty Warriors game. I played the Yellow Turban Rebellion with the Allied Forces in Dynasty Warriors 2 through Dynasty Warriors 9. I'm going to be talking about and ranking each of these 8 games based off of how bad or how well done each stage was handled. Let's jump right on into it. Starting in at number 8 is Dynasty Warriors 7. This stage is by far the most uninteresting Yellow Turban stage of all time to me. The map itself is so boring, the battle is very uneventful to me, it doesn't even have all 3 kingdom rulers working together. They all have their own version of this stage in story mode, but none of them working together to defeat the Yellow Turbans. They use wind and rock throwing, which will be common for previous Warriors games, so no originality on that one. The Yellow Turbans don't even have their own theme song and just use a song for each 3 kingdom when they start the story, which sucks too. The last thing here is they grabbed that lack of unique design for the Yellow Turbans as well. The only saving grace for this battle was the boss fight for Zheng Jiao, quote-unquote boss fight, where you have to destroy the ritual tools to stop the flames from coming out of the ground. Aside from that, I find this stage to be insanely throwaway and just uninteresting as a whole. The next one on the list for me is Dynasty Warriors 5's version. Just fair warning, I do find it to be going up in quality from here. I just find this stage here to not be very interesting with its stage design, which is its biggest killer for me. It does offer 4 magics being used in this stage, mind controlling Sun Jian's people, and tornadoes, which is new at least, and of course phantom soldiers, and you guessed it, rocks. It is at least an upgrade from Dynasty Warriors 7. We do at least have all 3 kingdom rulers in this stage attacking from 3 different sides. They also have their own song as well, which gives them an extra nice point. One last thing to point out too is that this game does have their own design for the Yellow Turbans, which is great. The map overall just isn't the best at all that Dynasty Warriors 5 offers for me, and none of these things minus Sun Jian's men getting brainwashed really has any big threat to them. Overall, it's a decent version, but nowhere near the best. This is probably very shocking since the 2 best Dynasty Warriors are so down the list, but yes, my next one on the list is Dynasty Warriors Z. Honestly, I don't have too much bad to say about it. I just feel there are better ones than this. The stage is actually pretty cool with its layout. One big shame is that there's only a shoot side to this battle, no Sun Jian here either, and Cao Cao just shows up as reinforcements, which is nice. The sorcery is unique here with ice shards falling from the sky on one side, sorcery soldiers along with the doors covered in fire and ice on the other side, and in order to stop that sorcery, you must destroy an altar, which, it's neat. Zheng Jiao's fight, I think, is supposed to have a gimmick as well, but I never got to see it despite waiting for a few minutes with nothing happening while it says it's preparing sorcery. He mentions lightning, and I never see anything about it. His brothers do show up to assist him for one last hurrah, which is cool. All around, good design, cool magic gimmicks, but not at all the most interesting with the rest of the battle's execution to me. We are now at the top 5, and this one is going to be Dynasty Warriors 6. Right off the bat, the music in this stage is amazing. Absolutely one of my favorites of all time. Fighting in the desert to this banger was beautiful and a sign of things to come with not only the soundtrack, but the fun battles that await in this game too. The stage itself from a visual standpoint is great, breathtaking. The map itself though is very simple, and I really wish there were more things going on here, especially with the center right before Zheng Jiao's main camp. The soldiers do have their own designs, I think. I went around the map and didn't see similar looks, so I assume it's different in its design, it's unique. Zheng Bao and Zheng Liang also have staffs in this game too, which I don't think any other game does, so gets points for that too. There are 3 magic gimmicks as well, with fire-throwing statues, winds that protect the main camp, which you have to destroy altars for, then the phantom soldiers that blow up when you hit them, which I consider to be slightly unique. All 3 kingdom rulers are here, so big points for me of course. I just wish this stage wasn't so short and had more going on in that massive center area for some cool, grand-like battle there. Great stage, just a little too fast to me, and just wish there were more enemies to fight in it. So, if Dynasty Warriors 5 and Dynasty Warriors 8, that are considered to be the best games, be so far down the list seem to be controversial, seeing Dynasty Warriors 9's version of this battle may shock you too, because that is our number 4. Hear me out. If there was one thing I was always sad about, which sounds like it'll be rectified in Dynasty Warriors Origins, but it's that there isn't much longevity with these stages, and see the spread of the Yellow Turbans in the country, unless you're playing an Empires game. This game actually captures it very well. You are fighting the Yellow Turbans all across the northeast area of China, seeing how much this conflict spread across the country. Although yes, Dynasty Warriors 9 is easily considered the worst, if not one of the worst Dynasty Warriors games, I'm referring to the mainline games, I think it managed to capture the overall spread of these Yellow Turbans very, very well. I found myself having a lot of fun going from one area of China to the next in order to stop the widespread danger that is the Yellow Turbans. The song itself is pretty darn good. Not my favorite, but it's good. It doesn't have unique designs for the Yellow Turbans either, which again is a blow for me. It does have the magics, of course, quite a bit actually when you go into the castle. The biggest one are the three brothers, Zheng Liang with summoning doubles of himself, Zheng Bao using fire that tracks you and explodes at your feet, and Zheng Jiao who uses altars to buff himself, which I will be honest, got me a few times. They have lightning, rock slides, tornadoes, hail in all four sides of the outer area of the castle where Zheng Jiao resides in. It of course has the three kingdoms fighting alongside each other again with the Imperials, as well as Dong Zhuo making an appearance here too, which in terms of the Han forces where you play as them, he doesn't show up. He does show up in a lot of the Yellow Turban versions, but in terms of fighting along the Han forces, it never happens. This is the first, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think overall, this was a pretty cool execution of the Yellow Turban Rebellion. If it wasn't for free mode not being that great, I'd definitely be playing this stage a lot more when I came back to this game way more often. Here we are at the top 3. This one is going to be Dynasty Warriors 4. I know we have the Menace and Fortress stages, but to be fair, we're only going to be focusing on the Rebellion stage. The stage itself is nice on a visual standpoint, but nothing super crazy and mostly just symmetrical, kind of similar to how Dynasty Warriors 5 in that regard. The three kingdom members are back to fight this threat, and yes, the Yellow Turbans do have their own designs, which is always nice. The song is by far, in my opinion, the most unique of the Yellow Turban themes, and I love hearing it whenever I go into this battle. Zheng Bao and Zheng Liang, of course, have their own magics. This time is the introduction of the flame coming out of the ground where Zheng Bao is, and of course, it wouldn't be a Yellow Turban stage without a rock slide, but I will give it points for making it to where the rocks are coming at you in all different angles, which really keeps you looking around carefully because those things hurt a lot. The main camp area where Zheng Jiao is easily my all-time favorite Yellow Turban main camp. Firstly, going through the dangers of yet another rock slide going downhill at you, then going through this whole area and taking out all of his men, sub-officers, gate captains, and finally making it to the man himself is honestly so much fun when all the rulers are now combined in this one area to fight Zheng Jiao's main force. My only gripe here is that the common thing in Dynasty Warriors 4 is the commander retreating when things go bad for them, and of course, Zheng Jiao is one of those men. This is easily one of the most fun stages and one I personally come back to more than any other Yellow Turban aside from one other stage. Number 2, which I think is one of the best in its stage designs, is Dynasty Warriors 2. This stage is so much fun to play, having the Three Kingdom Warriors fight their way into this massive fortress and take out a large amount of Yellow Turbans in it. And that's not even the end. Once you go through this huge fortress, then you make your way up these huge hills to meet Zheng Bao and Zheng Liang, who introduce the strong winds that impede your march upward, and of course the debut of the rock slide, which also impedes you. Once you make your way past the brothers, you go into this really cool area to fight Zheng Jiao himself that is up a small windy hill where he resides at the top. The song is what I think is the most iconic that we will see also in Dynasty Warriors 3 too. The vibes of this whole battle just feel so grand where you're fighting a huge mob of Yellow Turbans as you make your way to the head honcho himself who resides at the peak of this treacherous mountain behind the fortress. It is easily my all-time favorite from a stage design standpoint, and if it only had at least the gameplay of DW3, I'd probably make it my number 1. Of course, here we are at number 1. It is Dynasty Warriors 3. This stage is so well regarded, not only by me, but by so many other people as well. This stage has the Imperials camped in a castle right in the middle of the map, while the Three Kingdom rulers and their sub-officers defend each gate. They have the Yellow Turbans completely surrounding the castle, ready to attack from all sides. This is where the magic comes in. Zheng Liang freezing an entire river so his men can get easy access into the castle's blind spot and force the Imperials to join the fight as well. Then I need to make it hard on the Imperials as Zheng Bao will also drop boulders on one of them, which can straight up destroy all the one guy's men and his own health as well unless you're quick. Not only that, Zheng Bao's rocky fun ain't over as he brings back the iconic rock slide to those who try to go uphill to stop his tricks. To add on to this magic, Zheng Jiao, depending on who beats him, will teleport twice in this battle. He starts at the bottom of the map, and if defeated, he will teleport 2 times. Once in the castle, and then finally in the north across the river for the final confrontation. This stage overall is so well executed, and the map is perfect, and shows the struggle of defending the castle from all sides. Also helps that they brought back the old song from Dynasty Warriors 2 to make it that much more epic. And as a final little thing, of course, they have unique designs for the Yellow Turbans, which is always great, and even use generic soldier designs to make the officers feel more unique for them as well. I think this is definitely worth being at the number 1 spot, being a damn near perfect stage overall. And that is probably my very controversial top 8 of the Yellow Turban stages. Leave your own top 8 down below. Leave your overall thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what your favorite stage is. But with that all being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We are trying to hit 10K subs on the channel. You can also hit that join button, be a member of the channel where you get early access to videos, a sweet badge, and emotes too. With that being said, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you'll have a great rest of your day and or evening. I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Farewell.